Well, hello everyone. Definitely live on YouTube, but as you can see, Luna is going to take this Facebook Live for us. No, I'm kidding. But she was just sat perfectly in the middle, right in front of the camera, ready for her live. And I think we're also now on Facebook as well. Yes, we are now also on Facebook. Lovely. Yes, so hello, whether you're on Facebook or you are on where are you? YouTube. Then welcome wherever you are, and whether you're watching this live or watching this on the replay. Very welcome to you. So I'm going to move Luna now. She's not going to like. Come on. Ooh, let's move it there. There we go. Just move this. Yeah, that works. Maybe a little bit higher up. There we go. So I will just wait a few minutes and see if anyone joins me live. If not, then I've got a few things that I will say so that you can catch this replay anyway. Yes, my laptop is just to one side of my camera, so I'm just kind of looking there to see if anyone joins. But looks like nobody as yet. As far as I can tell, this is all a little bit new to me, so not quite sure. No, it doesn't look like it. I'm gonna just sorry, this is not terribly exciting. For you, but yes, getting to grips with this technology. So do bear with me. So it looks like I'll give everyone till 5 past, just in case. Otherwise, I will get going, and if people join, then they join. If they don't, then they don't, and it's all totally fine. And I will begin kind of just chatting about, about the courses, sharing a little bit about them, why I'm excited to be doing this, what I think, why I'm doing it, not only why I'm excited, but also, what's this all about, why bother, kind of thing, why not just stick with classes, and what you can gain from it, what the benefits are, and why they're a great thing to try. And looks like Luna might also join us here from time to time, but hopefully she will not be too much of a distraction. Okay, all right. I think I'm just gonna double check on Facebook again, but I'm gonna So with nobody here live with me at the moment, which is totally fine. I am just so I'm just going to start talking to you, sharing some of this stuff. You can catch this on the replay, hear about it. And then I thought I'd do this really. It's a new thing for me, as you will have seen, to give the opportunity to ask questions and to give the opportunity to bring things in, to talk about it in a way, because this is something new and something different that I haven't done before in this way. So just wanted to share a bit about that. So yeah, I guess nobody's got burning questions, which is why you've not turned up here, but or maybe you're going to come later. That's also totally fine. Do also feel free to put questions in the comments on the replay of this, and I'll see them and respond to them, or drop me an email. Or if you want to have a chat about things, that's also totally fine. We can arrange to have a short Zoom call about the things if that would be helpful. But I'm going to crack on and talk to you about these courses. So we've got 3 coming up at the end of September, beginning of October, 2 of which are Kundalini yoga and meditation, and 1 which is just meditation. So the first one to start is on Tuesday evenings, 7:15, going for an hour, and I've reduced that now. I think I initially put that up as an hour and a half. It might also be in the emails as an hour and a half or an hour and 15, and just kind of reflecting on who I'm aiming this at and thinking actually an hour is probably a more achievable amount of time for people each week. So it's going to be every Tuesday at 7:15 from the 29th of September for 5 weeks. So it finishes at the end of October. The last week of October is the final week of it. And that's called Create Time and Space for You, particularly designed in mind with people who've got very busy lives, got a lot going on, a lot of demands on your time, a lot of demands on your energy, a lot of people wanting a lot of different things, whether that's kids or family or work or friends or whoever, just kind of a lot of people wanting a lot of things from you, and you're juggling a lot of balls. But you're kind of recognizing the need to carve out a bit of time for you to slow down a little bit in the busyness of everything and find that stillness in that busyness. And this is why I thought an hour is probably better, because if you're talking about really busy people, maybe they've not got too much time. So maybe you can manage an hour. And of course, if you can't come live, everything will be recorded and you'll be provided with a private link on YouTube for the replay. So whether you come live or you don't come live, you can always come back to them, go back over the material if you didn't catch everything the first time, or you just want to revisit it, or if you don't manage to make it at the time, you can always come and check out the replay. And so yeah, this is really just about providing that support to you to be able to create that time and space for that little bit of calmness, that little bit of slowing down, that little bit of reconnecting to you, to help you feel a bit less, I think as Jackie mentioned it on my regulars, discombobulated, disconnected, a little less frazzled, a little less like you're going in 100 different directions at once and you can't remember who you are. So this is time for you to reconnect to you, remember who you are, remember why you're here, and find that calmness, find that stillness. And so the benefits of all of this are going to be, you're going to learn how to do that for yourself first and foremost, so that you of course, I would love you to keep coming to my things. But, at the end of the day, really how you create the change is within your own life, not by relying upon me and coming to whatever it is that I'm offering is going to support you with that change, but you're the one that's going to make that change. And so this is really about you helping you to carve that time for yourself, helping you to find that stillness, even if it's just a few moments here and there, even if it's just 5 minutes in the morning, just 5 minutes of breath practice is enough to set you up for the day, if that's all you've got. If you've got a bit longer, great. And how you can create that. And maybe it's, 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes on your coffee break, 5 minutes at lunch, 5 minutes, before you go to bed. And we can do it that way and build it up in little 5-minute segments through the day. So it's not like you have to do an hour and a half or 2 hours first thing in the morning, which feels pretty unreasonable, means you have to get up at like 4 in the morning or something ridiculous. Not asking, this is not what this is about. This is not about adding extra stuff to your already busy life that's not going to support you, that's going to feel like an extra burden and an extra requirement in your life. This is about supporting you in your busy life to find that space for you, because you found the space for everybody else and everything else in your life, and you have come last to the point where you're not there at all. So we're going to redress that balance just a little bit more. So it's not about finding more time, it's about prioritizing the time that you've got. We'll find a bunch of different ways to do that. I'll be sharing all kinds of different tools, different practices, so you can just try out a few different things that might work for you. This is not about saying you have to do all 100 things home, or it's not going to be 100, but you know what I mean. All of the things, you try the ones that you feel drawn to, that perhaps worked for you during the live session, that you feel like, oh, I could explore that. I feel a bit inspired to try that. And it's not homework. No one's going to grade you. This is about supporting you, not about putting extra burdens or judgment upon you. And so, you know, the benefits of you actually finding that bit of time are going to be better sleep, for starters. As soon as you start doing that, slowing down a little bit, listening to yourself, connecting back in with yourself, the sleep gets so much better. And I know this from personal experience. Before I came to Kundalini Yoga, and also, you know, for quite some time, it's actually only recently that I've transitioned with this. I practiced transcendental meditation, but until I tried transcendental meditation, my sleep was horrendous. I was an insomniac. I used to wake up in the middle of the night at like regularly 2 or 3 in the morning, and would worry for like a good 2 hours or so. And literally no meditation or, you know, embodied body scan or whatever it was helping, until I did transcendental meditation, and then I would just start sleeping through the night, and it was amazing. So we're not going to do transcendental meditation because it's a very specific technique, which I am not trained. I have the skills for myself, but I'm not training to offer that to other people. But we're going to try a bunch of other things, including the embodied body scan, because actually that's pretty good. But you kind of have to get yourself to that point first, where that's going to be effective for you. But we're going to try a bunch of different things, some of which are based on some of the premises around transcendental meditation. But it's not only transcendental meditation that's going to improve your sleep. That was just what the tool I found that worked for me. But my point is, I know about the power of that. I also know how exhausting it is to constantly wake up and to not be able to sleep, and how narrow your vision becomes. And this, you know, with getting that sleep is just so crucial for everything else. Once you start to sleep better, then you start to be able to broaden out that vision, start to be able to see the bigger picture a little bit more. You're less grumpy, less snappy, you know, kinder and nicer to other people because you're not exhausted. And you then find that you've got the energy to do other things. You've got more of that capacity. So really, you know, whilst you're supporting yourself with sleep, you're also supporting other people and everything else that's going on in your life. So yeah, that's going to be a big one. And then it's about, you know, finding those moments in the day, and what can you do? Maybe like, you know, you've got a million things going on. What can you do just to bring you back to yourself? Those like little things that you can do. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's kind of the main thing. And with that one, and the main kind of thing behind that. So I'm going to share a bunch of different things with you, both in the lives, also stuff that you can try at home. You can try it, you can not try it, you can do whatever you want. It's your course, you know. But, you know, by making that commitment and doing the course, whether you do it live or not, you're making that commitment. You're actually saying, for once, I'm going to prioritize myself. For once, in all of the things that people are demanding of me, all the things and all the busyness and everything that I'm juggling and I've got going on in my life, I'm going to prioritize a little bit of time for me. And just doing that will open up so much space. It will carve out that little bit of space. So, we have somebody joined me on YouTube. Welcome. Feel free to pop anything in the chat. I was just kind of in a whole big chat about the first course that I'm offering, which is Create Time and Space for You. So that one is starting on Tuesday the 29th, running for 5 weeks weekly on Tuesday evenings at 7:15 for 1 hour. So if you've got questions or anything you'd like to share, feel free. I'm just going to also check on Facebook. I'm trying to kind of toggle between the two here. So go. So I'm going to move on then to the second course. I'm doing them in the order that they begin. The second course is Beginner's Kundalini Yoga course, which is starting on the 28th of September, Wednesday evening weeklies, 7 p.m, slightly earlier start than the Tuesdays. And this is going to go for an hour and a half. So it's a longer time. But the reason for that is because as beginners, we want a bit of time and we want a bit of space, and we want to feel like we can ask the stupid questions. No, there are no stupid questions, but you want to feel like you're able and you've got that time, and we can really explore and get into some of the things that are really key to Kundalini yoga that perhaps you won't necessarily experience in other forms of yoga, or at least not right away. Get those techniques and really learn about them and experience them for ourselves in a way that perhaps going to a standard class, you might get a very brief description about something, and then you're just kind of expected to figure it out for yourself. I know, because that's also how I teach. So this is really like slowing it way down. So we need a little bit more time for that. So that's why we've got an hour and a half here. So that'll be 7 to 8:30 every Wednesday evening. And this is for beginners, and it can be for people who are maybe not, quite beginners. Maybe you've done 2 or 3 classes, but you're not quite sure about, like breath of fire, or what is mulband and root lock, and what are the other locks, and how do we do them, and what are all the different mudras, and what do they do, and how does this all kind of fit together, and what's it doing to my body? We're going to explore all of that. So, and in a very kind of slow way. Not so slow that you'll get bored, but in a kind of really feel it in the body kind of way. So that's who it's for. And you want to do it, I guess, because of what I've been saying, because you feel like maybe just jumping into a standard class, you're not going to get that time to really explore and experiment and to feel it in the body and to understand how to do the techniques really well. And so it will improve your confidence to be able to go into standard classes. It will give you a bunch more information and learning about Kundalini yoga, both learning kind of in the mind information, but also in the body. How does it feel in my body? What does it feel like when it's right? What does it feel like when I've not got it quite right? And kind of working with that. And it's going to be a safe, supported space, non-judgmental, to ask all the questions you want, get it wrong as much as you want, showing up however you want. This is not about doing it perfectly. This is about your practice and beginning you on that path. And I did a bunch of free beginners classes like monthly for a while, and I did enjoy doing those, but it was very kind of hit and miss because they were free. People would come, people would not come, and there was no continuity. Even though I was teaching different things each time, there was no continuity between them. And so I felt like by doing this is really a great way to kind of build each week and really learn and embed that learning within you. So that's why we're doing that one. And I feel like by having that commitment of the course means that you're really committed to your own learning, as much as I'm really committed to ensuring that you kind of build and develop that and really embody that and feel that within yourself. So there will be practices as well that you can try out at home. Little bit similar to the other the first course, but there'll be different practices, and it might just be you get to try out some different breath techniques and things at home and see how that works for you, see how that is, just so that you can improve that for yourself and you can feel that progression each week. So yeah, both of those courses are for 5 weeks. The first one on Tuesdays, second one on Wednesdays, starting at the end of September, running through to the end of October. Last week in October. Again, this one will be recorded and you will be able to replay it as many times as you like. Come to it if you can't make it live. Come back to it if there was something you didn't quite get, or you forgot, or you just want to kind of go over it. It's available to you on the private link for as long as you want. And they're both £35 for the 5 weeks, so it's basically £7 as a live session, plus all the extra tools and resources that I'll be giving you as well. And then the third one is for the it's the meditation course. Lost my train of thought there for a second. The meditation course. So we've done a few meditation courses before already, and this is going to run in a very similar format. And I feel like the meditation courses are largely a reasonably successful format, I feel. This one is slightly changed, so we've changed the time. So we're starting it at 7 a.m. in the mornings, 7 to 7:30. First things, hop out of bed, come in your pajamas if you want. I don't mind. You can keep your cameras off. It's not important. And just come and meditate for 30 minutes. And already we're talking about busy lives. You've created that time and that space for yourself first thing in the morning, before your day gets going. So that's why we're doing it first thing. I've tried it at different times before, but I feel like with it, people getting more back into busyness and the routines of life, maybe first thing before the day gets going, is going to be a good time. But of course, if you don't join the live, there will be the replays, and you can come back to that in the day, or whenever is good for you. And again, they'll be on the YouTube private links. This one is £16 for the course. It's 11 days, but it's 11 days over between the new moon to the full moon. So it's starting on the 6th of October, which is the new moon, running through to the full moon, which I think is the 20th. And the reason why it's 11 days is because this is just for weekdays. So I'm not going to ask you to get out of bed at 7 in the morning on the weekends, unless you particularly want to. And of course, one of the reasons why I'm not doing it at 7 a.m. on the weekends is because I'm teaching over at Calm Collective in Sidcup on the Saturday morning. So there's a clash there for me as well. So that's why it's 11 days, but it's over kind of 2 weeks, as it were, because of the weekends. And of course, if you want to keep with the daily practice on the weekends, you can come to the replays and you can replay whichever day you like, and join along with that on your weekends. And also you've got then the replays if you want to continue it on for a 40-day practice. The replays can support you with that as well. So 11 days between the new moon and the full moon, for 30 minutes. We're just going to come, check in, tune in, meditate, tune out. That's it. Bob's your uncle. The more people that come together, whether that's live or on the replays, energetically, all of that energy is coming together, and we can amplify those vibrations of meditation. I haven't yet picked exactly which mantra we're going to do. We normally do mantras. I'm contemplating also whether to do pranayama, breath work as well. But I'll be sharing more information about the specifics of that a bit nearer the time. But yeah, it generally seems to work. People really enjoy it. I've done a few of these now. Yeah, so there you go. That's all about the courses. Whew. What they're all about, what they're going to do, what the benefits are, why you should do them. And so I'm going to talk a bit more generally now about courses. Why courses? Why am I not just sticking with drop-in classes? So, and what are, why am, what are the benefits of it? Why bother? Because obviously, this is more work and commitment for me as much as it's more commitment for you as well. So why are we doing that? So for starters, I'm not getting rid of classes altogether. We've still got Mondays at Pop Brixton, which is also online. And we've got Saturdays at Calm Collective in Sidcup, which is actually only in person. So those are the classes. So you can still drop into classes if you want to. And I will still be doing the odd kind of ad hoc special one. I'm also having some thoughts about kind of ad hoc workshop type things, but I haven't yet kind of created that. So that will be coming in the future. So yes, so if you absolutely love classes, there's still those options for you. But the difference really between a course and a class is that I will pick a particular theme for a class, and each class is quite different. And that, and that's just the theme for that class, and it might be based on the moon or something else, or it might just be based on how I'm feeling, or what inspiration or intuition is coming to me, or whatever so there isn't a kind of systematic thing going on there. Maybe we'll do a bit of a series, I think I've done some on the chakras, and I've done some on the spiritual bodies before. So, there is that a little bit of that kind of going on with the classes, but by and large, it's like that's the theme for the class, and then the next class is quite different. With the course, we are going each week. We've got a particular kind of overarching theme for the course, and each week is building on the last. And so it's building the skills, it's building the knowledge, it's building the experience, it's building the embodiment of it within you, and it's creating that change through that continued building and learning and building and learning upon each one, in a way that is much more coherent than is with classes, because there is that continuity of the themes. There is that building of the themes upon each one. And so it's about expanding that knowledge of that particular theme, embodied knowledge as well as kind of head knowledge. And of course, you're going to be getting that stuff, the tools and things that you can be doing at home as well. So that's helping you to build that practice and learning how you can do that for yourself at home, so that it's not just a thing where you turn up maybe once a week for a class. It's something that you can do every day, and you can build that practice, even if it's just 5 minutes every day. So that's another reason why. And it's when I make this commitment in terms of the course, I'm committed to showing up for the whole of that course, and for delivering that course, and for giving you the benefits and the outcomes that you're going to receive from that. Whereas with the classes, it's both like, it's a bit ad hoc, isn't it? And sometimes we've all experienced it where only one person turns up, or a couple of people turn up, or people cancel at the last minute, and so it's all it's all a bit kind of up and down, and a bit ad hoc, and a bit kind of, so that doesn't help in terms of that developing that continuity and that ongoing support and that ongoing care. Whereas if there is this commitment to the whole of the course, however you're showing up, even if you're doing the replays and you can't make it live, there is that ongoing continuity, and there is that ongoing commitment, both from me and from you. So that's why, really, because I think that it will create much more of a structure, much more of a foundation, much more of a change, and a change that is lasting, and a change that what that change is, how you did it, and how you can continue to do that. So really, it's also about empowering you to support your own life in this way, so that you can do that for yourself, so that you're not only relying upon me for that. As much as I want you to come to things, and I'll continue to support you in learning and changing and growing in new ways, it's hopefully creating that foundation that we can, with each thing, build upon that, and that it's not only a once a week connection, it's a daily connection. A daily connection with you primarily. So yeah, so that's why courses. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly maybe answer. So I came up with some questions just in case nobody came up. I'm just going to quickly check on Facebook and see if we've got any questions, any comments. Nope. Hello to who's joining me live. I've just kind of done a great big run through of the courses, what's going on with them, why doing the courses, all of that. If you've got questions that you'd like to ask, please pop them in the comments. I will hopefully see them and can answer them for you here live. It's the whole point of this session. But I will go ahead and start to answer some of the questions I came up with for myself. But of course, much better if I can get questions coming in from you as well. So do feel free to jump in with any of your questions. But otherwise, let's come to the ones that I've made up, and hopefully they're the kind of ones that you might be asking. So one of the ones I thought was, perhaps I don't know what I'm going to be doing each week. Maybe I've got a different schedule. Maybe my work, hours are not fixed, or, maybe my kids go to bed at different times, or they have dinner at different times, or I've got kind of different schedules, in terms of childcare. I don't know, whether I'm going to always be available. So, can I just drop in? Maybe this is why you like classes. Maybe I can just drop in if I'm free, or not if I'm not. So no is the short answer to that one, because of the nature of the course and what I've just explained in terms of how it builds upon each one. Each week builds upon the last, and it's that knowledge and that growing and learning. And so if you pop in the middle of that, you won't have had the past weeks, and so you won't know what I'm talking about, and you won't know any of that, and you won't really get the benefits of it. However, what I would say is, if you don't know your schedule and you're not really sure what's going on, why not sign up? You've got the replays. And so if you can't make it, then you can do the replay at home at another time. And if you can make it live, then great, yeah. So I'm just looking at the questions now. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Charmaine. So for the first course, which is Create Time and Space for You, it is 1 hour on Tuesdays, starting on the 29th of September. And it's running for 5 weeks. So it's every Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. for 1 hour. And for 5 weeks. So it runs from the end of September through to the end of October. And it is £35 for the whole of the course. And some of the tools that I will be sharing with this, that we're going to be doing some different pranayama and breathing techniques, because breath work, breath retention, breath control is one of the quickest, most effective ways that we can change our experience of ourselves and our experience of our world. And we can do that, in the space of about 3 minutes with different breaths. And so we're gonna look at that, because it's really focusing on what are those quick effective tools that can really bring us back to ourselves and really create the time for ourselves. So that's going to be the primary one. We are also going to be bringing in yoga. So we'll be doing some yoga practices which can help to kind of create that sense of connection to ourselves, that create the sense of space that you may choose to do at home, or you may not, depending on the time that you've got. But we'll be sharing them within the live session anyway, and on the replay, obviously. And they'll be bringing in a little bit of mantra as well. And I will be also sharing perhaps tools that are not from Kundalini Yoga, but which I feel are also effective. So whether that might be cardiac coherence breath, which is a breath that I particularly love and is an extremely simple and effective practice that you can do each day. Maybe some tools as well. I do really connecting in the idea from womb yoga of the energy line that runs from our sacrum, our pelvis, up to our heart center, and really kind of connecting in with that. And there's some really simple practices that can help us do that, that connect mudra to that. And then when we connect into that flow that's going between these two centers, energy centers within the body, then it just creates a sense of expansiveness as well as connection to the self, and really kind of being able to be with yourself. So we'll be exploring a bit of that, as well as things like embodied body scan, which again is not a specific Kundalini yoga technique, but it's a very effective technique. So, you know, there's going to be a bit of a mix there. The majority of it's going to be Kundalini yoga, but I'm going to be bringing in a few other bits and pieces from elsewhere. So I'm hoping that has answered the question. And yeah, there's not a requirement in terms of the tools and techniques that I'll be offering you for the home practice that you would have to do them. No one's going to grade you. I'm not going to be like, you know, you're a terrible person for not doing it. No, we're all busy people. And I'm going to be sharing a bunch of different tools that you can do at home. The idea is not that you're going to do them all, but you're going to maybe you're going to pick a few that you're maybe interested in or sound good to you, or maybe we've experienced in the class and that felt really good for you, and you're going to try that at home. And they're going to be short. They're going to be maybe 5-10 minutes. Obviously, there might be some longer practices like the yoga practices that might be a little bit longer that you can bring in when you've got the time. But really the focus with this one is, you know, short, effective, to the point things that you can try at home, you know, at different times, carving out that little bit of time, whether that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, however long you've got. Or, you know, I think I was sharing a bit before, you know, it might even be 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at lunchtime and 5 minutes in the evening, you know, and then you've got 15 minutes in a day, but it's not all, you know, you've kind of carved that from little 5-minute bits at a time. So yes, so that's the focus. So there is a commitment there, but it's not a heavy commitment, and it's an hour in terms of the live session. So again, it's not a really heavy commitment in terms of that. And my idea and intention with this is to keep it light, keep it manageable, keep it doable, and to see that change and that transformation. Not by having to kind of get up at 4 a.m. and do 2 hours or something before work, but by those little small effective things. Yeah. So so where was I? Yes, coming back to some of the other questions that I've got. If anybody else wants to bring in a question, that's also great. The cost commitment is £35 for the full course, so for the full 5 weeks and all of the tools and the ongoing support that's around that as well. So it works out about £7 a session, including everything that you'll get with that. Yeah. Okay. So yes, if you want classes, as I've mentioned, we've got Mondays and the Saturdays. Mondays at Pop Brixton and online, Saturdays at Calm Collective. So you've still got classes if classes are what you want. Other things I thought were maybe you're struggling with the financial commitment. You want to just pay weekly. Why are we paying up front? Well, again, it's making that commitment. It's about that commitment to yourself primarily. I've identified that this is something that you need, that's going to support you in your life, and you're going to put your money where your mouth is, and you're going to make that commitment. And it's very similar, for example, to class passes, which I've been having on my site up until just very recently. You know, that is money up front, and then, you know, the classes come off it. So this is, you know, the money up front, and then you're committed. You know that you're going to be doing that, and you're coming to the class, to the course, however you're coming to the course, whenever you're coming to the course, you're committed to that course. And we only really make that commitment when we make the energetic exchange. And the energetic exchange, primarily, especially when we're online, is primarily financial, particularly in the society that we live in at the moment. That's not to say that it's the only form of energetic exchange, not at all, but it's definitely the simplest, most effective, direct way of doing it, given where we are. If you are particularly struggling financially and it is a real struggle for you to be able to afford that upfront, please get in touch with me, because money should never be there should never be a financial barrier to being able to access things. So do get in touch and we'll see if we can sort out a payment plan, or some other way of enabling you to make that energetic commitment to it. You're very welcome, Charming. So yeah, I think I already answered this. Yeah, we can't. It's similar to the drop-in question of, So the thought question was, can I join halfway through the course? Well, essentially you can't, because it's for the same reason as why not just drop in, is that you'll have missed what has happened already, and as each week builds on the other one, you won't have that knowledge and experience, and so you'll be kind of coming in and be kind of a bit lost and at sea, kind of with where we're at. And whilst I can offer the replays, if you're kind of joining in partway through, it's quite a big commitment then for you to kind of go through all of that, learn it all, assimilate it all, understand it all, and then kind of show up at the live classes. So that just felt too difficult, really, to achieve, and it didn't seem particularly realistic. So again, what I would say in a situation like this is sign up at the beginning, get the replays if you can't come live, because then you've at least got those, and then come to the live classes when you can. And then, even if you can't, even if you know that you're away or you're busy or whatever, you've got those replays, and you have already made that time for yourself to look at those replays whenever that might be, even if it's when you get back from leave, or when you're when you've got that time to do that, rather than jumping in right in the middle and not really understanding what is going on. So yeah, those are kind of all the questions that I thought of. If anybody else has anything else, do drop it in. We've got a few minutes left. But I feel like I've pretty much covered everything. And like I said, if you can't make this live, totally fine. The replay is going to be up on the Facebook group and up on my YouTube channel. Do feel free to drop any questions that you have after watching this in the comments boxes, and I will respond to them. Or you can drop me an email, and I can reply to them there. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's probably it from me. I'm not seeing any more comments coming in or any more questions. So thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that was here live. So lovely to see you, or to kind of see your names. Yeah, and I look forward to you joining me in the courses. I look forward to offering this new format, and I look forward to supporting you in the change and the transformation that will occur through the course of the format of the courses and the format that there is. And that's really the reason for why I'm doing it. Is what I get from all of this is to see the transformation in people, to see that change, see the change that people make in their lives as a result of that commitment and of showing up and doing that work. That's why I do all of this work. And so that's why I've chosen this format, because actually it's something that works really well for being able to see that change and that transformation in you. So I am super excited to offer this, because I'm really excited to see that transformation and that change and that growth within you. Yeah, that's what that's all about, really. So I'm gonna end this now, but yes, do send me any questions after. I'm here and happy to offer any support, any guidance, and answer any questions that you've got, and looking forward to starting this journey with you. Sending you much love, and I will see you all very soon, in person or online. I'm just going to end the streams.